Okay, it shows it's live.
Are those extra agendas?
Yes.
If anybody would like an agenda, that's right here. It is 6:24 p.m. on January 6th, 2022. Meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of West Tawakoni. We have both a public hearing and a regular meeting afterwards. The agenda for the public hearing is a call to order, and have we done a sign-in sheet?
Yes.
Okay. We have present, I don't know, I can't remember what place you are. 6?
One.
No, I think it was this
it's
one.
one. Yeah, it's one. So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. It goes in order.
Right,
Send you.
I guess I'm playing 6 or 7.
Place 6.
You're
Okay.
seven.
7. That's
Okay, then just state your name and give your.
Jared Hawkins, place 7.
Teresa Snyder, place 6.
Chuck Hawkins, place 4.
James
Oh,
Shem,
I'm sorry. I thought you
James Shem plays 4.
were, Chuck Hawkins, place 5. I guess. Yeah, Chairman.
Chris Bonowitz, place 6.
3.
Yeah.
3, 2, and 1.
And we have number 1 and number 2, Sheila Purvis and Tommy Shoemaker are absent today. And we're going to proceed without them. We do have a quorum. I'm open for citizen input. Now, this is citizen input regarding anything on the public hearing, but it does not have to do specifically with your presentation for request. If you have something you'd like to say about it, about any of these variances, if you're against them or for them or something, it's usually we let the person requesting variance speak their mind when they have the floor. So, is there anybody that has anything you want to say in the meantime? No, we'll move on. Move on to item number 4, non-conforming use request for variance for property owned by Black Bear Mobile Home Park LLC located at 324 Horizon Drive in the city of West Tawakoni, Texas. Legal description: lot 70, block 1, phase 2, no Horizon Estates, zone single family 4, SF4, to allow the placement and construction of a 1-story 42-foot by 30-foot barn for heavy equipment storage during the development phase of Horizon Estates phase 2. The non-conforming use, contrary to section B, article 18, and section 3.2, article 3 of chapter 12 of the city of West Tawakoni Code of Ordinances, which does not allow the building of storage buildings, which is a conforming use. Mr. Easting, right? You want to make your case? Are you the owner, by the way?
No.
How are you involved? Are
I'm
you
just a GC for the whole property.
okay? Go ahead. You want to step up here, or you want to? You can talk right from there if you want.
Well, the concept is just to build the 30 by 42 storage building for heavy equipment while we are doing road works, doing the culverts, getting the place ready for the mobile home park. Right now we have it parked. We have our backhoe parked at the RV sales park, and they really would like us to move it. So we're trying to put a building that we can store equipment in while we are through the process.
My recollection is you or someone representing Horizon Estates presented information to the development to us some months ago. Is that correct?
Yes, and we didn't get the zoning meeting, so we missed it. We got kicked back and set up again this time.
All right.
Chair recognizes Chris.
This is Chris. If I might ask some questions redundantly. Your information for the development phase 2 has already been presented to the planning and zoning, is that correct? I remember. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions, Jerry?
I'm just curious what your plan is after the development is complete. What are you gonna do with the building?
Either move it to another location with development, because all we're gonna do is put a perimeter beam around, nothing inside, no concrete inside, just the beam so we can sit the building on, drive the equipment in, store it. So that's one thought is to move it because we've got another project in Quinlan,
Oh, okay.
which is going through the whole process right now.
So it's really
It
totally
really
temporary.
is temporary storage, but it's also the location we chose it to be is down the road. If possible, we might come back to you and say, we'd like to make it a laundromat for the mobile home park. Because it's the right size and we won't be doing any plumbing at this moment in time. So if we did decide to make it there, we could come to you again in the future. But right
You
now,
wanted to make a permanent building, you'd have to come back.
yes, exactly. What we're asking for is to build a concrete beam, to fit it on, stick it on, and lock it up.
So are you going to have any utilities, plumbing and water?
No plumbing, maybe some power,
Electric?
yeah, maybe some electric, or maybe just generator, because we're gonna be working there anyway.
Teresa,
No question.
what kind of building is it gonna be? A steel building?
It's just a,
And where?
I think there's a picture there.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, this is.
Just a simple,
And it's a steel building.
yeah, still building,
Okay.
20 gauge metal.
Okay, are you willing to sign a contract with the city that it will be moved within a certain amount of time? Or that in case you decide to use it in behalf of the city or the neighborhood, that you would come back and see planning and zoning?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I would like to hear a motion on this.
I make a motion. We
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can't
just
do
a
that
hearing.
yet. Yeah,
No,
it's
this is
just
a-
a
Oh, this is a
different-
public hearing.
This is public hearing, okay. Anything else?
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, we're all set.
Thank you.
When we get to the regular meeting, that's, we'll decide what we're
And
gonna do.
how will I know about it?
Oh, it really be right
It's
here.
right after it. If you could just sign,
Oh.
write your name and sign.
All right, number 5.
Number 5, non-conforming use request for variance on property owned by Jesus Montalvo and Carolina Martinez, located at 420 Rabbit Cove Road, City of West Tawakoni, Texas. Legal description, property ID 79313. S5078 Sundance Acres, Lot 4, 1.636 acres, zone single family 1, SF1, to allow a 14-foot by 76-foot 2022 model year manufactured home to be moved onto the subject property, which is a non-conforming use contrary to paragraph single family 1 of section 3.2, article 3, chapter 12 of the City of West Tawakoni Code of Ordinances, which does not allow manufactured homes, which is a conforming use. Are you doing the presentation?
But I guess, yes, sir, I'm an old Swazo from American Homes, like I said, in Rockwell.
Oh, you're from American Homes?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
and then Rockwell, Texas. These are Mr. and Mrs. Martinez of the Wild. These are the people that bought that property, owner financed. I don't know what the problem was, but apparently it was sold as, that you could put a mobile home there. I don't know if they were aware or not, but the point is that they wanted to put a mobile home in there. To their knowledge, they didn't check later on, before this happened, to see if there was a fact or not. Because they saw mobile homes everywhere else around it, but that's not the case that you automatically put a mobile home there. You gotta go through permits and all that. And they just told us if we could help them, come in here. They're a little bit shorter, they're speaking English. So they told me, come here, you can help us out and try and get the permit, but the mobile home put there, like I tell you, there's mobile homes all around. I think there's some pictures on in there. It's a brand new home. They're out of a home right now. They don't have a home. They got 3 children. And like I tell you, they put $20,000 on this property, not knowing that it's not, if they don't get approved, it's basically lost money. $1,000 a month they've been getting for the past a year. So they come from here to ask you guys, if we could help them out and put a home there. It's not gonna change anything there. It's like I tell you, if you look at it, there's mobile homes everywhere. Of course, I know it got changed, I guess a year ago or something like that, but that's our plan here today.
That's Chris Bonowitz. I noticed on the plat here, there's an old mobile home with a fence line.
They already fixed that. It was yellow syrup or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not in the property.
It's not in the property no more.
Is that old mobile home still present?
No, it's gone.
In this picture.
It is, but they moved it, sir.
Is it
To the
in
correct
this
side.
picture?
I'm sorry, I can't see, sir. No, that's, let me see, sir, because they're more familiar with it. If I could show it to them.
How about this one
Can I put up a phone? Can I see that other one?
here? Right here, let me just do you.
Is this the oldest? Is this the right one? Okay, yeah, that's a property.
I know it's a property, but it's at the mobile home, I forgot about
But
that.
it's a mobile home. Is it?
Has it now?
This is the mobile home that is in there. The neighbor next to us, he moved it to our place. It's not on his property anymore. But
Okay,
it's still there.
so it's gone.
Yeah. I don't think they're property.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's something on this plat that is called an awning. What is that?
Not only there's probably like a leftover deck or something that was there, but it's,
Is there a
Everything's
picture of it?
no, but mandaron fotos, lo siento, es really nada, apenas like.
Sí.
That's all for
Nomás
us.
la que está ahí en la trailer, pero de ahí en fuera no hay.
Yeah, no, everything else was cleaned already, sir.
So that's off.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
Not, not only there's been, the mobile home where a small deck that was sat in there that was just standing there, but it's cleared, everything's cleared.
So this is Chris Bonowitz, another question. So there's a rock drive here on this lot.
Oh, what?
That says right here. Rock drive. Is that the driveway?
Yes, sir, but those properties are old, so you can barely see a rock there, which when they get there, they already have some money set aside to put their own driveway, fix it up a little bit.
so you don't, excuse me, let me interject one thing. There's no site plan to show where the mobile home's going. So tell them where it's going.
That's why when we applied for the permit, we did do a site plan, but that's when it got rejected, that we didn't, but I don't know what. But the mobile's gotta be, from, it's a 14 by 76, so más o menos la quieren donde está la otra casa, ¿verdad? Más o menos la que va a ser.
Ellos dijeron que tiene que estar
Atravesada.
facing Rabbit Cove Road,
Okay,
la puerta
they were told from you that it had to be the front door facing Rabbit Cove.
Yeah, that's definite,
that's
but
true.
where on the property, up near the front or in the back?
enfrente.
That's right, yeah, because they want to spend the less they can on utilities hooking up, so it'll be the closest you can get to the, I think it's like 50 feet from the front of the property.
So will it be laying this way or this way?
That way, like you are, right here. Yeah,
So the front door will be facing the street?
yes, sir,
Which is what we
Yes, sir.
require.
yes, sir.
Now, you have any questions, sir?
No, I'm good.
I have a question about the surrounding area. I see there's mobile homes there, but one's been moved and that other one, is that a mobile home?
Yeah, right next door, there's a mobile.
All up and down that street.
Have you been down it?
Uh-huh. All
Have
up
you
and down
looked
the
at the
street.
site?
Yes,
Okay, what's it like? I mean, are there,
there's just mobile homes.
No
There's
cycle.
mobile home. And there's
There
new
isn't?
mobile homes.
And it is zoned for SF.
That's the only 2 lots or 3 lots that was changed out of what.
Further down towards Rabbit Cove and Maze is 1 or 2 houses. Most of them past that is mobile homes. And where this is mobile.
Is this on the north side of the road or the south side?
Yeah,
North
North
side.
side, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Sorry, I was in a hurry. I just picked whatever was there.
sad to see.
Yeah, good. Well, here's a site-built home right here, isn't it? In the picture.
It's built on the add-ons.
This what?
Add-ons that I think that they were on, so cosas que le dejaron, ¿verdad?
Yeah. The
Add-ons.
slope. Okay, anything else?
No, sure, that's all. We tried, the kids are waiting,
420
their children outside. Anyway, no, that's all.
No, we can't, we're not voting on, we
No, I
can't vote on this, this is just a public hearing.
Yeah, we know.
Because I have to find out if anybody has objections too, so, okay?
Yeah.
And this was all these that we're hearing today in this public hearing, were all posted in the newspaper in Greenville. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so if anybody has an objection,
So remember, we don't make the decision, the city council will make the.
I understand you.
okay.
So that will be on the next meeting.
Yes, Tuesday.
Don't tell us, but we'll go today if you want, guys.
Dijeron el señor Galán que sí, que el
What, she said something about calling?
I'm sorry?
You said something about calling?
No, you should have said that, the main is on the next meeting.
Yes. So we look at it, we review it, and if we approve it, we pass it on to the council, then the council votes on it.
If you say that you always are really nice people.
I know a little bit of Spanish.
She didn't say that, right?
No, she did not say that.
Okay, we're gonna move on here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6, non-conforming use request for a variance for property owned by Jonathan Butt, located at 900 Crestway, City West of Tawakoni, Texas. Legal description, lots 21 through 24, Block A, Crest Park, addition number 1. Zone single family 3, SF3, to allow a 30 by 50 foot metal shop to be built for the purpose of storage, which is a non-conforming use, contrary to section 8, article 18, and section 30.2, article 3 of chapter 12 of the city of West Tawakoni Code of Ordinances, which does not allow the building of storage buildings in that area, conforming, which is a conforming use.
I'm Jonathan. Good evening. I've got some slides up here, but it's a regurgitation of what you have printed, I believe, but you get the next slide. So what we're asking for is construction of a 30 by 50, 14-foot metal high shop garage. It'll be just a storage area on our property. Next slide. This is a rendition of what it's going to look like when it's done. It conforms to the zoning requirements other than it's a metal shop. And so that is outside of the zoning. That's what we're asking the variance for. The other aspects are within the requirements of the zoning as far as the specifications. It does face the road.
Let me ask you a quick question. Are those larger garage doors than the other one on the side?
The side one is a smaller one, yeah. So if you look, the actual side one is a 10-foot high and the 2 in the front are 12 foot high.
Okay.
So that is the difference. And it does have the 2 front doors that do face the roadway as required in the zoning requirement. So, next slide. This is the inside. It's going to look, we do have the permit ready to go for the actual plumbing and stuff once we get approval for the zoning.
So you're putting a bathroom in?
We will put a bathroom there.
So,
here's the property view. That's where it's at on Crestway Drive there. Next slide. This is where we plan to put the shop itself. As you can see, it'll face the actual Crestway View Road. It's out back, tucked behind the trees there in the.
Where's the house?
I'm sorry. The house is, you can't really see it here. It's kind of covered up, but it's sitting right there. And actually, that'll be we're going to be replacing that house, but that's a different aspect. So
you live there?
no.
Does anybody live in there?
We just purchased the property. So
Is that that's not the Canute?
It's the pink
property?
house.
It's the pink house. I'm sorry.
Pink-
Is that Don Canute's property?
No, it's not. It was, the previous owners.
Burton?
Burton, yeah, that's right. William Burton. There's the previous owner.
What's across the street?
There's a plot right here. There's another land owner that has a mobile home and a storage shed of types. Okay, next slide. This is just the location where it's gonna go. Within the neighborhood down the road, there's at least I captured about 10 other shops that are basically the same build and structure.
Call it a shop.
Metal
That sounds
building
like a
structure.
business.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a business.
But if you look, he took pictures of some that are down the street on the
Okay.
exact same street.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next slide.
Are they as large as the one?
There actually, there's a few that are larger.
Yes.
This is my neighboring, this is the.
Is
actual
that all the blue spots or?
Those are all metal sheds.
And they're that big.
Yeah.
As I go down that street.
Okay.
Next slide. And this is actually our neighbor two over, and this was the same builder that did his shop. He's actually the one that referred us to the builder that we're gonna use. You can see next slide. You can just kind of flip through.
Where do you live at then? If you don't live there?
We live in Coppell currently.
Are you planning on moving to this?
Right now, it's gonna become kind of a lake house for us, but eventually that's our retirement plan.
Oh,
He
okay.
backs up, that lot backs up to the lake, right there on the, out on the edge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ours
Yeah.
backs up to the lake here.
Okay.
So we're in the process of kind of building it up. So you mentioned about the improvement enhancement, where we want to improve the land value, just bring up the whole aspect. So the pink trailer, if you like that look, take a picture, because it's gonna be gone soon. We're in the process of getting that.
Thank you.
So we're, yeah, the intent is we're gonna bring it up.
Have you talked to SRA about the plumbing issue?
It's from which aspect?
Well, you can't have I guess you have to have an aerobic system. You're gonna hook into the city?
Correct. We're gonna
Okay.
this.
It's far enough up and
It's far
away
enough.
from the water that he won't have to.
Yep, yeah, it's on city. That's correct. It's coming on city, so we're gonna tie it there. And we have that permit process. as well. But yeah, these are just, you can just kind of flip through those. You got the pictures, but they're all common sheds, metal buildings. So. Any other questions? This one?
Um,
No. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one, site plan approval request by Junior Reagan on behalf of Anchor Inn Marina located at 800 Townhouse Drive, West Tawakoni, Texas. The expansion and improvement of the business facilities by the new owner to include new boat slip, ground leveling and contouring, addition of a recreational pool, sites for additional RVs, future additional cabins, and gated tenant building. Mr. Reagan, I understand, is no longer the buyer. And we have Sharon Cunningham, who is the owner. You are actually the owner, aren't you?
One of the four owners.
One of the four owners, okay.
My husband, sitting right over there.
And he's an owner too,
Yes, he is.
but he's making you do that.
Up until the pandemic, I had a corporate job and did this kind of thing a lot. So
Oh, okay.
just one second. All right.
Now, before you start, Mr. Reagan is not making any presentation because he is not in line to purchase the property anymore. But I've talked to Ms. Cunningham and she wants to let us know about the property and future plans for it and everything. And I allowed her a few minutes to give us some information.
And one of the reasons that Mr. Reagan is no longer interested is because of the information that he was getting from the city council and lack of information from the planning and zoning. He kind of had a problem. So I want to make sure you all are aware of what our business is. And we need some understanding about how we go forward with a future buyer. So anyway, who's Anchor Inn? We are a recreational facility concentrating on RV camping. We have motel and cabin rentals. We have fishing and camping customers. Okay, and My husband and I and our other partners went to the Hunt County planning thing that happened before Christmas in Quinlan.
Mhm.
The dream, the vision, and this, what we use the property for is what that piece of the property in their vision, recreational use. So this business fits right in with that. The owners of it are David and Sharon Cunningham, and also Bob and Nancy Dotson. We've owned the properties, or we have owned the business since 1997. It's on a long-term lease from the Sabine River Authority. The entire property is Sabine land, and it's approximately 125 acres. And the address is 800 Tomahawk Drive, and our property starts just south of Lone Eagle. If you go south on Tomahawk and you cross Lone Eagle, there's a greenhouse on the right, and as soon as you get past their fence, that's where our lease land starts. And I put a couple on the next page. I put a couple of maps there. The left one is from a prior survey that was done. The right one is from the Hunt County website. If you go and look at all the land, you'll see on the right-hand picture that the land, the north part of that peninsula's got a lot of trees on it, and then it opens up into wide open land. It's about 2 miles of shore along that peninsula. So what does Anchor Inn do? Well, I counted up based on 11 years of revenue and figured out we have about 7,200 people through our park every year. And strange enough, even when the pandemic happened, our business went up. When Governor Abbott said hunting and fishing wasn't restricted, there were people that never had so much as wet a hook calling us and saying, I hear we can fish. Can we fish at your place? How do you fish? You know, I mean, it was nuts during the pandemic after about the first 2 weeks. We have 80 RV spots that are primarily rented for weekend and vacation use. We are different than a lot of the other RV parks. We don't have customers living full-time in our RVs, with very few exceptions. We have an employee that does. We have a couple of retired people that are grandfathered in, but we are a recreation, not a residential park.
How do you get them out?
We don't rent to people that want to live there full-time.
Okay,
And
but
if they're
okay,
living there full-time, we tell them
you can't do
they can do that. We all, and that is, if you look on a revenue basis, that's a primary revenue line for us. It's this 80 RV spots where people are coming and going. Now they leave their RVs there full-time, but they come and go, the people do. We have 7 cabins and 11 motel rooms. And I read in recent documents of your minutes that you defined what a cabin is. And 4 of our cabins are purpose-built for cabins and fit with your new description of what a cabin is. And 3 of them are mobile homes that we rent as cabins. Okay, we also have 11 motel rooms. We do not use these for long-term rentals. These are again for short-term rentals, less than the 14 days, usually less than that. Okay.
Primarily weekend.
Yeah, well, the motel rooms are a lot of weekdays. The cabins are weekends during the year. In the summertime, longer rent.
Didn't know you had a motel.
Yeah, we have, and I'll tell you in a few pages further, you'll find out we do pay occupancy tax. Okay, we have 12 short-term RV spots. These are for people that want to come on the weekend and bring their RV. Okay, we primarily day or temporary use. We do have some snowbirds that come down for maybe 3 months, or somebody that a contractor, truck driver. We've had rodeo people. You know, we may rent them a temporary spot for 3 months where they stay full time. But again, that's not really the primary business. We have 32 covered boat slips. We rent these monthly. And they have a private dock for the use of those. And we have 3 uncovered boat slips for days. We have 2 boat ramps. Back if you all lived in Tawakoni when we had the 3.5-year drought and the lake got 13+ feet low, we had at the time, the last boat ramp in the lake that was in the water.
Really?
Yes. Okay. You use it? Great. All right. And we have another one. And We charge for people who launch their boats, but if you are an RV customer or a cabin customer or a motel customer, the launch is complimentary. We've got 6 camping shelters, which look like screened-in gazebos that have electric and water that people camp. We have a lot of family reunions and they'll rent like all the cabins and all the shelters. Have a lot of that kind of business. We have 10 picnic tables that camping and fishing people rent from us on a daily basis. And we have about a mile of shore and a lot of open land, the southern part of that peninsula that's just wide open, that people come and fish on a daily, and we charge them a certain number of dollars to fish per person.
You have fishing license?
Do I have a
Yeah,
fishing
this-
license?
no,
I have
you-
a lifetime fishing
Is it
license.
required? Yes.
Does
Yes.
Marina have?
Yes.
Can you issue fishing?
No,
No.
we got out of that business and we recommend they go online or go to Walmart.
Okay.
Okay. The same people run the fishing license business online that run the lottery. And so if there's ever a problem with the machinery, you're behind every lottery machine to get your business, to get your machine fixed. So we decided we didn't want to do it.
Okay.
We have a fishing pier and 2 boat docks for the use of our campers and our fishermen. And we also have 8 lots that have mobile homes on them that 4 of them are for the owners and 3 of them are privately owned and we rent 1. Used to 24 years ago, when we bought this business, it was primarily a mobile home park with a few RVs. Over the last 24 years, we've pretty much flipped that completely and added the motels and cabins. So that's what we do. So of what benefit is Anchor Inn to the city of West Tawakoni? Well, that motel and cabins that you were talking about, we pay occupancy tax, 13% on every rental that we do. And since we don't do long-term rentals, we never fall into that not having occupancy tax. And 7% of our occupancy tax goes to the city. So that's probably $7,000 a year in occupancy tax to the city, roughly, for the last 3 years. We pay water and sewer and waste removal bills for our entire 120 some odd acre property to the city. All of our park facilities hook into the city sewer. There's no such thing as free water. We pay for every gallon of water that goes in and every gallon that we pump out. And for this is beneficial to the city. We, the owners of Anchor Inn, maintain the sewer system on the park facilities. You maintain it from where we hook the city sewer up. We maintain it from where we hook the city sewer downstream. Okay. We maintain the roads in the park. City maintenance of Tomahawk goes to the stop sign on Tomahawk prior to where you get to the United States Postal Service Bruce Mail. We pay property tax to Hunt County and to West Tawakoni and to various other taxing authorities on all of the structures that the marina has on the property. Office, boat slips, cabins, motel rooms, and shop rooms. I didn't realize until I got into this business, you pay property tax on boat slips. You do. And a portion of that goes to the city. So you get about probably 25% of the total property tax that we pay. We have a really healthy electric bill for the entire property of Anchor Inn, and you get the city of West Tawakoni gets a 4% city franchise fee off of our commercial electric. Yes,
Do you provide the electricity for the whole park?
FEC does.
Well, no, I mean, you pay for the whole
Well,
park.
No,
For the-
there are, some of the mobile homes have their own meter,
Okay,
and a handful of the older RV spots have their own meter. The
okay.
rest of them bill through Anchor Inn.
Yes, we
Okay.
sub-meter and
We
read
sub-meter the RV spots and
Okay.
bill
each
them
one
up.
individually.
I just wanted-
So again, we bring in about 7,200 customers a year, and we provide about, in addition to the 4 owners, we've got 3 people. And you notice we don't talk about sales tax, okay? Because we don't have a store on our property. The only thing that we sell from our office that is taxable is bagged ice. We got out of the restaurant business. We don't have a store, particularly since COVID. We don't sell beer, we don't sell cigarettes, we don't sell gas, we don't sell vape. So all of those 7,200 customers a year, when they want to buy beer and cigarettes and vape and all of that, are spending their money in other businesses here in Tawakoni. So our plans for the future, I think every person in the city of Tawakoni knows that our property is being looked at for purchase, because every time one of the owners goes anywhere in West Tawakoni, we're asked about, oh, I hear you're selling your business. Okay. But we have several years left on our SRA lease, and we have an option for an additional 20 years. And until we sell our business at some point, when we do sell it, we want to continue to perform business as usual. And I think this is why Mr. Reagan backed away from making us an offer, because he had gotten the impression from some city officials that he was not going to be able to do business as usual. Okay. Now, the current ownership, what's business as usual mean for us? You just heard me go through it. But we need to remove some unneeded manufacturers' homes that we've got on the property, some old ones, and upgrade those lots for new RV rooms. And we want to finish approximately a dozen RV spots that are partially complete for new RV rooms. So that's what, up until the time we do conclude a sale, that's what we need to do to continue to run the business in addition to everything else. So what we need from the Planning and Zoning Committee is we need some assurance that we can conduct business as usual, that nothing, I came into the city and I read 20 years of ordinances to make sure that our business was in line with everything that is mentioned on anything that we do business. And I have been working my way through the history of the Planning and Zoning Committee to make sure that we're in line with everything you have said about RVs and mobile homes and RV parks. So we need to understand if we need in anything that we're doing, need to bring something in front of the Planning and Zoning. Since we bought the business in 97, we've been going through the Sabine River for all of our permissions to, if we put in some more RVs, or if we need to, if somebody so much as wants to put a deck outside one of their RVs, we have to do a site plan and get it approved by the Sabine River Authority by terms of our lease. I think if we have a power pole set, the FEC has us come to the city to get permission for a new power pole. But, and I know if we built a permanent structure, which we can only do on a certain part of our leased land, we would come to the city, but we're not going to be doing any of that. So I need to understand what is, if anything is required. I need to understand what's required when we get another potential owner. What's the process that they need to go through? From working with Junior, I helped him develop the site plan that he had given you a copy of to go through. And everybody here knows that we've got a potential buyer that is interested. But we would like to know, is that my phone?
Yeah.
I'll turn the thing to silent. My phone just does not like to go.
I'm sorry, we picked those up.
Anyway, if we get another owner, a new owner that's interested.
New buyer.
A new buyer, thank you. And they want to run it as an RV park and recreation. Is that going to be okay? I know it fits in line with Hunt County's view of what that peninsula should be.
You realize this is a public hearing, you can't answer your question.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of would like to know that we can still continue to do this.
I have a question. This is Chris. So did you get approval from the Lake Tawakoni Planning and Zoning Commission
For what?
for this upgrade of the property? Did you take
Which upgrade?
What upgrade there's been?
We're having upgrade.
I thought you were gonna remove mobile homes and put
Well-
buildings in and new book slips and.
That was Junior.
Yeah, that was the other guy.
Yes, that was Junior. What I,
Oh, he was behind. So
that's, he was going to be here too, and he developed a site plan, because I helped him do it, to come to the planning and zoning committee, because we understood that was the first step.
So you're just asking for these things on the, you
Yeah,
don't have
those
anything
back page,
specific,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we just need to know that we're,
In the past, whenever we dealt with the city, they said it's being approved that it's all right. And whatever they say, and we didn't have to bring, if we needed a new RV spot, we didn't have to come to the city. And we kind of need to know, is that going to change? Is that going to be now that anything we do on the Sabine land has to go through the city?
Okay.
because for what I read in all of the city documents, our peninsula is zoned RVs. Zoned for RVs.
Okay, we have your presentation and your request.
Yeah.
Why don't we
Okay,
get to the regular meeting?
all
Okay.
right,
Thank you very much.
sure.
Appreciate it.
And I'm sorry for the phone.
Yeah, I need a motion.
Make a motion, we adjourn the public hearing.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor? All right. Unanimous. Okay, call to order the regular meeting of the City of West Tawakoni Planning and Zoning Commission, January 6, 2022. Way behind. It is now 7:03. First item on the agenda is a call to order. And we'll do that with the attendance call, starting with Chris this time.
This is Chris, place 3.
Chuck Hawkins, place 5, Chairman.
James, place 4.
Teresa Snyder, place 6.
Jared Hawkins, place 7.
Okay, next is a discussion and approval of the minutes from December 2nd.
You have to table it.
Table it.
Yes, sir.
Motion
Did
to
that
table
meeting
to the
happen?
next meeting.
Did that meeting happen?
December 2nd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because Tommy was the chairman.
Oh, that's right.
So you didn't go to that?
No, I was here. That's why I was like,
Okay.
wait a minute. But I know that he canceled a lot of meetings in December, so that's why I was like.
Motion to postpone.
Table,
Motion to table. I need a second.
second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay. Unanimous again. No old business, moving on to new business. I'd like to request motion.
What about citizen input? Number 4.
Oh, I always do this.
You do that.
Is there? Remind me, don't you? Citizen input, number 4, before old business. Is there anybody who wants to say anything that hasn't been said yet? Anything? No one wants to talk here. Okay, old business, none. Now, new business. I'd like to hear a motion to take care of item number 9 first, so that we can let the Cunninghams leave right away. I think it's a real quick couple of comments and we'll be all set with that. Can I hear a motion for that?
What do we?
To move 9 to before 6.
Oh, okay. I make a motion, we move item 9 to before number 6.
I need a second.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. So the next item is discussion and take action on request for approval of site plan by Junior Reagan on behalf of Anchor Inn. That is off the table, but we do want to answer the question about assurances. First of all, we can't give assurances to you for people that are going to be serving after us, okay? A lot of things can happen, okay? At the present time, however, your business has been running the same for the last 15 years. And you're grandfathered in on everything that's on that property right now. Is there any part of your property that isn't zoned RV? The whole thing is, okay. If the plan by the buyer is to do anything to the property that isn't included in what's described for zoning for RVs, then they would have to make an application to the planning and zoning to have it approved and presented to the city council for final approval.
Okay.
Other than that, if you have somebody buying the property, if they're gonna do the same thing, there's no need to come before us. If there's any major building or anything like that, you might have to come, excuse me, you might have to come before the city council for a site plan. But and that doesn't cost anything, you just ask for that request. That's so the city knows where things are going. And your comment was well raised about the city told you in the past that if our SRA approves it, then it's approved, and we don't care. That may have been in the past, but we do care. We do care what goes in our city. So we're trying to stick to and clean up our rules and get this going straight. I think we've answered all that question, haven't I?
Well, I've still got a little quick, if we, for example, if there's no mobile home, and we get somebody to pull it out, take it away, do we need to still come and apply to convert it to an RV spot?
No, I don't see it.
Not if it's zoned RV.
Zoned RV, we're not gonna.
Yeah, we were told that we'd have to.
No.
That's really everything.
And I wouldn't even consider that anywhere near a major improvement or anything,
Okay.
It requires a site plan.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Anybody
time.
else want to add to that?
Our assurances for what they're worth, we're the gatekeepers, and the
Right.
city council could torpedo us, but you know.
Yeah, well, we
That's
were-
true.
Yeah.
That's why people should be involved with their local government, because this is the local government is where the people feel it. Federal government might do a few things, but we set taxes on your property. We pick up your garbage, we supply your water and sewer and all that stuff. You want competent people serving in your behalf. And that's why people, the citizens, should get involved. Now we have at this meeting right here, you all are directly related to issues that are on the agenda. We have nobody here observing. And the city council is just the same.
Yeah.
And that's really a shame.
Yeah, one of our business partners used to be on the council. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
many years ago.
Who was the mayor at the time?
I don't remember.
Okay.
We've seen a few since 1996.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember Bidwell or.
Harold Bedwell or Don Knuth?
Yeah,
Okay, so that answers your question?
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for what you do. also.
And I learned something with your presentation too.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to item number 6, discussion and take action on request for variance for Black Bear Mobile Home Park LLC to allow placement and construction of a storage building on lot 70, block 1, New Horizon Estates. Any discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the building with its temporary placement.
And what about the contract for removal?
I'm not quite sure how to word that. And then negotiate with the city for a time for removal to a different location.
Or use.
Or use, or to come back before the committee for commission for use change.
I'll say.
You're seconding? All in favor? Unanimous. There's your answer. Okay, item number 7,
That's the recommendation. You still
Oh,
gotta go from
recommendation.
council.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. This is
Yeah.
all recommending to the council. Making that clear.
Very good. Thank you.
Still gotta
Didn't know
come back on
that.
Tuesday.
That's
Yeah.
good to say that.
Making sure.
Discussion and take action on request for variance by Jesus Montalvo and Carolina Martinez to allow the placement of a manufactured home lot 4 Sundance Acres. Any discussion or motion?
I make a motion to approve the placement of the house on lot 4 Sundance Acres.
We got a second for Chuck. I know you tried to.
That's okay. I was just agreeing.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
I,
All right, unanimous. And item number 8, discussion and take action on request for variance by Jonathan Bus to allow the placement and construction of a storage building on lots 21 through 24, block A. Thank you for coming in.
Gotcha.
Good luck. Block A, Crest Park, condition number 1. And we have Mr. Buster. Any discussion?
They're all over that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. So
That was the best presentation I've ever seen.
Well, he came prepared. We ought to turn it down just because.
Maybe do it again.
I'm doing it again.
I make a motion, we approve the building.
Is there a
Lots
second?
21, 20.
I said.
Okay, motion is second, all in favor?
All
All right, okay. You're good to go there.
Well, you're good to go to council.
Yeah, right, okay.
I'm gonna-
Recommendation board.
But you should,
It's on Tuesday next week. Right? It's next week.
6:30.
it should be Tuesday.
Tuesday, is it this Tuesday or next Tuesday? Because I know it's the
In the
second.
letter we
Tuesday.
got from, in the mail, it said it was this coming to the 11th at 6:30.
Okay, there you go.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think, now I think about it, it's gonna be on Tuesday because they have
Right.
to post it in the newspaper because
Actually,
they have to
it's-
have a hearing also on it. And,
It's January 11th, 2022 at 6:30 PM.
Here?
thank you very much.
Yes, here,
And
right in the
that-
middle.
That's for you guys too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, number 10, commissioners' announcements and request for items to be included on next agenda. Anything, folks? Okay,
I would, this is Chris. I don't know what's going on. I guess I will investigate what's going on behind the old 36. And check to see, and Leanne, maybe you can help me this. Is it in city limits or in the county government?
So we'd have to look back there to see.
I couldn't tell.
Where's that? I don't know where
36
that is.
We can actually
The old
go.
36 club, it's like,
you know the one that went out of business, went back.
It turns into Sneaky Pete's.
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And the woman came and presented, she wants to do those container.
Yes.
Exactly.
That was
Now
on
it's
the
got a
property next
mural on
door.
No,
It's got a mural on it.
It's got the mural on the front, yeah.
yeah, but
Sticky Pete.
behind that is a mobile home split in two. I don't remember it being there, but there's.
There was a home back there.
Well, apparently they're removing it, but I'll just find out.
Okay,
Because
so,
they were talking about bringing in the containers and doing the containers.
was that on the same property?
Yep, it was all right there.
It was.
It's gonna be right there. I don't know if she purchased it. We heard, she came, made her
She painted a picture on
presentation, asked questions, and then that was it.
Kind of a nice
Mural.
mural.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite, it's more like Caribbean, but it's got a fish on
It was well done at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they fixed the roof. Did you notice?
you know, what I'd like, we got so many vacant walls in our commercial areas. I'd like to see, we find some way of inviting those street artists to come in and paint on those buildings.
it. It's all over,
It'd be a-
all over Greenville.
It'd be a
It's
real
amazing.
Remember that-
attraction
that-
for us.
Terrible mural that was on Texas Swingford.
No, geez, that was.
No, I'm saying to get the same guy, the person who did
He
that.
passed away, he had around.
Oh,
Did you really?
You really? Oh,
Okay,
now I feel bad.
That was 10 years ago.
Okay, I want to read a statement into the record. And this is a letter to Jim Turnipseed that I am going to be giving to you. Leanne, are you still on the staff here?
No,
Not at all?
No, she's a
Okay, so
CFO.
you don't come in at all?
no,
Okay,
that's the reason why whenever you asked me to reach out to Tony and stuff like that, I was like,
okay,
I have access to that stuff.
okay, then I will make sure that he gets this.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read this letter. It's only a page and a half, so it's no big deal. Dear Mr. Turnipseed, the cycle of life came home to me in the worst way this past November. I now know and feel the meaning of the importance of time and relationships. Carol Calkins, nee Kinnunen, was my wife. I love her, but most of all, my best, truest friend. Her passing has impacted me hard, both in her loss and what it now demands of me. I will not bore the city council with the personal demands I now have resting on my shoulders, since they obviously don't care or wish to be bothered, as the past 2 months have shown. Much work now confronts me. I have 2 estates to probate, one in Michigan and one in Texas, as well as the combining of 2 households with my son and his family moving in with me. But my personal life is only a small part of the reason for me stepping down from the P&Z. That actually relates to how I've been treated and unappreciated during the 15 long years I've given to the city, most without any remuneration. As city attorney, I attended all city council meetings without charge and charged half the going rate of the city attorney, but then only when work was actually required. I was instrumental in party to the removal of the controversial police chief and his sergeant, both believed guilty of criminal activity. I was party to the advancement of the new highly qualified and active leader of the city police department, one which your inept council has successfully driven away, only to be unable to properly restaff that department. I was elected and served on the city council until I had to leave due to medical reasons. I now serve as chairman of the P&Z until the end of this meeting, this January 6, 2022. During all this time, knowing that I'm a licensed attorney for the state of Texas, I have freely given my opinion and service and assistance to the city staff, and especially you, though the city already had an overpaid attorney. In all that time, I have only been recognized and complimented on by 2 people who were part of the city, you being one of them. But unwarranted vilification and bad blood abounded, especially from most of the city council members over the last 6 to 7 years. It comes with the territory of being an attorney, and I'm used to it, but not such as has occurred with this city. Further, while I originally found working on the P&Z interesting and rewarding, I now, along with several others on the commission, feel that the work we do as a commission is not only not appreciated, but actually ignored to the point of violating our own ordinances. The council drove away an auto repair business because they didn't want a temporary manufactured home on the property, even though the property owner was willing to contract with the city regarding a variance. But for over a year, they've done nothing about the illegal containers throughout the city, especially at a lovely RV park. It should be noted that the city continues to lose fees and penalties on those illegal containers. And our city council has approved, without going through the process as required by its own ordinances, the EDC contract with investors in the city property across from City Hall. Not having learned from their experience with the cloisters, the city is now involved with quote investors at a time when the 1 to 2%ers are looking for places to bury their money from taxes and not caring if any business is ever viable. A review by the P&Z required by ordinance would have reviewed the site plan, investigated the property owners or investors, and determined the necessity of a contract with completion time and penalties. Not only does the city council not enforce or apply the code of ordinances, but we don't even have an effective code enforcement officer. Rather than an officer preferred or a chief who is chief over no one, and who I hear spends more time with the city patrol car outside the city than in, it might finally be time to find and hire a trained, experienced code enforcement officer instead, something that might be difficult to do now that the council's micromanaging has driven away most of the qualified staff. It seems that being elected has empowered city council members to go beyond their real job, which is to set taxes, policy, and budget, and to contract with the department managers and let them manage their own staff. No employee wants, needs, or should be subject to 7 or 8 bosses. Because I have important, meaningful relationships to protect, because I have too many personal matters to take up my time, and especially since the city council doesn't understand or appreciate the importance of the Planning and Zoning Commission, nor show a willingness to follow the letter of the law and ignores the Open Meetings Act, I hereby submit this letter as my resignation as commissioner and as chairman of the City of West Tawakoni Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm sorry for any inconvenience my leaving may cause, though I suspect some may feel a fait accompli. The rest of it is unnecessary. I'm reading this because I wanted to let you know that I'm leaving and the reasons why, so that you can prepare what you want to do. I'm going to turn my book over to you, and as of adjournment tonight, I'll be done. Okay. All right. Next thing on the agenda, statements / comments by other commissioners at their election. Chris.
Chuck, most people are gonna miss you. And I'll be one of them. I think you've done a great job as city attorney and chairman of the P&Z and your time on the council. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I feel that was an excellent letter of resignation that you submitted.
Thank you very much. You want to copy of it?
Absolutely.
Oh, very good.
I know somebody.
Okay. Jim.
Sorry to see you all. We miss you.
Okay.
I am sorry you're leaving, and I think you did a fantastic job while I've been here. And you have been you've been status quo and done what you were supposed to do. And I appreciate that and what you've done with the city, because I agree with you that there is a lot going on that shouldn't be going on. And that's why I jumped in on some stuff. And I sit in that chair over there on EDC, and I was the only one going, wait a minute, trying to interject stuff that needs to, we're just jumping in. I'm like, what in the world? So, you are correct. And I hate to see you go.
Thank you. Appreciate the compliment. Jared?
Well, as much as it pains me, because I like this group a lot, I am also resigning as of tonight. I've had a lot of problems with the city council for years, even when I was serving on it. But the current city council, I could soapbox all night what they do wrong. We all know what they're doing wrong. But I just can't, the fact that we were never even consulted about the usage of the city property across the street.
It was hidden. Just so you know, I overheard it saying that they were making sure that we didn't know about it.
Why?
I have no idea.
It's unfortunate that this group of people aren't the people that the mayor and city council, because I think we're more effective and more intelligent than the people that are serving in that capacity now. I leave Jim out of it because I think Jim is a good guy, but the other people on the city council.
Are we still on?
Yes, we're
on.
I'll wait till we're on.
And I would also like to say that Mr. Champ should have known also, he's the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, there's no publication.
Wow.
There's no publication about it.
That's what we
They
can
said they
expect.
put it in the Greenville paper.
They did?
That's what they said.
No,
I
don't know.
I didn't go looking for it because I don't get the Greenville paper. But
We're talking about a group of people, during the freeze when the water went out and took upon themselves to repair equipment that they shouldn't even have access to because they weren't properly licensed. And then filming in the water plant, which is violates, I'm sure Homeland Security would love to have known about that.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, they have a long history now, and unfortunately, I believe they were all reelected, weren't they?
Well,
Nobody,
they didn't have
nobody, they were
any
ran
Nobody would
unopposed.
run against them.
No, but yeah, they ran unopposed, so yes, they were all.
We have an audience.
They're-
And-
they're
There are
doing-
many online.
Huh?
And
Oh,
online.
that's right.
Well,
Online.
Still
Spread the
online.
word.
I would just beg everyone that's a citizen and resides in the city to get more involved in the city government. I mean, it's the one agency of government that impacts individuals the most.
I'll say this, I was on the city council for 2 terms. It's a very difficult job. I would not want to be part of it right now. And my lovely wife Donna was on there for 2 terms and did a great job, very
Sure did.
knowledgeable woman. And she's happy that she did not win in the last election.
It's like, you feel like you're tilting at windmills the whole time. And especially, I was always the lone voice of reason so many times.
No, so was Donna.
So was Donna, I mean, it's like Donna and I were against the rest of the losing battle. So, yeah, no more. I'm done. I've done my public service. I got to move on.
I hung in there tough, man.
With my mom's passing,
I didn't even know.
no, it's
I
fine.
didn't even know that. No,
Yeah,
I'm so
she-
sorry.
It kind of changed everything. for us.
She passed in November 10th.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
So sorry.
and it's been real hard on the family. She was a pivotal person in the
Sure.
family,
Absolutely.
and we miss her all the time.
So
I
sorry.
mean, I'm sitting here and I'm reminded that we're on video every once in a while, and she would be at home watching us right now.
Oh,
You watch all of them.
sweet.
So in any case,
She's still watching from above.
She is. She sure is.
do I hear a motion on item number 13?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Why don't you second?
I can't.
I'll second it, so I'm leaving.
There you go.
Okay. Your last act.
My last.
All in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned, my last act.
And what time is it?
Oh, I'm sorry, 7:30, no, 7:29.
7:29.
Yeah.
All right. Stop this.